It's 2:17 in the morning. You wake up, barely able to move, because your dog is stretched across your legs like they own the bed. They have their own bed. They have the couch. They have the entire house. And yet, every single night, they choose your bed. Most people think it's simple. Maybe your dog just wants warmth. Maybe they're spoiled. Maybe they're just clingy. But science says something far more fascinating is happening. Something that's been evolving between humans and dogs for thousands of years. And once you understand it, the way you see your dog may never be the same again. Let's start with the most common explanation, warmth. It sounds logical, right? Dogs like warm places. Humans are warm. Case closed. But here's the problem with that theory. Your dog probably has plenty of cozy spots already. A blanket on the couch, a sunny corner on the floor, maybe even their own expensive dog bed that you bought specifically for them. So if warmth was the only goal, why walk past all those options and squeeze into your personal sleeping space? The answer begins with something every animal understands on a deep instinctual level. Sleep is dangerous. When an animal sleeps, it becomes vulnerable. It can't run. It can't defend itself. It can't react quickly to threats. In the wild, sleeping in the wrong place could literally mean not waking up at all. So animals evolved a powerful instinct. Find the safest place possible before falling asleep. And this is where your dog makes a very interesting decision. Instead of hiding in a quiet corner, instead of curling up somewhere isolated, your dog chooses to sleep right next to a human that is 10 times their size. That choice isn't random. Researchers studying dog behavior discovered something incredible about how dogs see their owners. Scientists actually adapted a psychological test normally used for human babies. It's called the strange situation test, originally designed to study the bond between infants and their mothers. When researchers applied this same test to dogs and their owners, the results shocked them. Dogs showed the same attachment patterns as toddlers. They looked for their owner when they felt unsure. They became stressed when separated, and they relaxed immediately when their owner returned. In fact, the percentage of dogs showing a secure attachment to their owners was almost identical to human children. So when your dog jumps into bed with you, they aren't just being needy. They're doing something psychologists call proximity seeking, the instinct to stay close to the one individual they trust the most. In your dog's mind, you are their safe place. But the story gets even more interesting when scientists looked inside the brain. Because this bond between humans and dogs isn't just emotional, it's chemical. In 2015, researchers in Japan ran an experiment that revealed something extraordinary. They measured levels of a hormone called oxytocin in both dogs and their owners. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone. It's the same chemical released when a mother holds her newborn baby, when people hug, or when two people feel deeply connected. The scientists asked dog owners to simply sit and interact with their dogs. Some dogs wagged their tails. Some leaned against their owners. Some stared directly into their owner's eyes. And something remarkable happened. As dogs looked at their owners, both the dog and the human experienced a surge of oxytocin at the same time. The dog's brain released oxytocin. The human's brain released oxytocin. This made the dog want to look at the human more, which triggered even more oxytocin. A powerful bonding loop formed between the two species. What's even more fascinating is that scientists tried the same experiment with wolves raised by humans. And the chemical reaction didn't happen. This connection exists almost exclusively between humans and dogs. It evolved over thousands of years of living together. And physical closeness strengthens it even more. Studies show that just 10 minutes of petting your dog lowers cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, in both of you. Now imagine what happens when a dog sleeps beside you for 8 hours. Two bodies, two nervous systems, calming each other through the night. But to understand why dogs do this, we need to go back very far in time. Long before cities existed, before farming, before written language. Around 15,000 years ago, wild wolves began approaching human camps. At first, it was about food scraps. But the wolves that stayed closest to humans were different. They were less aggressive, more curious, more tolerant of human presence. Over many generations, those wolves slowly changed. They became the earliest dogs, and the relationship between humans and dogs grew deeper than anyone expected. Archaeologists once discovered an ancient burial site in Germany that dates back roughly 14,000 years. Inside the grave were two humans. But they weren't buried alone. Two dogs were buried beside them. And one of those dogs had clearly survived a deadly illness called canine distemper. Without care, that disease kills dogs in about 3 weeks. But the remains showed the dog had survived for more than 5 weeks. That means someone thousands of years ago nursed that dog through its illness. Think about that for a moment. This wasn't just survival. This was compassion. Even at the very beginning of the human-dog relationship, dogs weren't just tools. They were already becoming family. And modern genetics reveals something incredible. Dogs actually carry genetic changes linked to extreme friendliness toward humans. These genetic traits don't exist in wolves. In other words, dogs didn't just learn to love humans. They evolved to, which explains why being close to you, especially while sleeping, feels natural to them. But here's something that surprises a lot of people. Scientists studied what happens when dogs sleep in the same room as their owners. They tracked sleep patterns using clinical sleep monitors. And the data showed something funny. Dogs actually do disrupt sleep. They move around. They stretch. Sometimes they steal the blanket. But despite the interruptions, almost every participant reported feeling more relaxed and more comfortable when their dog was nearby. Why? Because the human brain responds strongly to the presence of a trusted companion. For most of human history, people didn't sleep alone in quiet bedrooms. They slept in groups. Family members, communities, sometimes even animals. Our nervous systems evolved expecting the presence of others nearby. That quiet breathing next to you, that warm body beside your legs, signals safety to your brain. And when that companion is a dog who completely trusts you, the effect becomes even stronger. Recent studies measuring heart rate patterns found that dogs and their owners often become physiologically synchronized. Their stress levels rise and fall together. Their bodies calm down together. And the strongest synchronization happened when they were resting side by side. Two completely different species regulating each other's nervous systems. Which means when your dog curls up next to you at night, it isn't just comfort. It's biology. It's trust. It's a bond shaped by thousands of years of shared evolution. But there's one last thing every dog owner should know. If your dog has always slept beside you and suddenly stops, pay attention. Dogs are creatures of habit. A sudden change in sleeping behavior can sometimes signal a problem. Maybe something in the environment changed. A new person in the house, a new pet, a shift in routine. But sometimes it can be physical. Veterinarians say that dogs experiencing pain often change their sleeping location before any other symptom appears. Older dogs may also develop cognitive changes that affect sleep patterns. Your dog can't explain what they're feeling. Their behavior is their language. So if that nightly routine ever changes, it's worth noticing. But if your dog is still climbing into bed every night, taking up most of the mattress, and leaving you hanging off the edge, remember what that moment actually means. Out of every comfortable place in the house, your dog chose you. Because in their world, you are the safest place they know. And honestly, science suggests the feeling might be mutual. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more science-backed insights about dogs and their behavior. And I'm curious, where does your dog sleep at night? Right next to you or somewhere else in the house? Let me know in the comments. And in the next video, we're diving into something even stranger. Why dogs stare into your eyes like they're trying to read your mind. The science behind that behavior is honestly mind-blowing.